Welcome to Hoovies Garage, the dumbest automotive channel in all of YouTube, and we are in the home stretch when it comes to completion on Hoovies Garage 3.0 and the farmhouse renovations, but still a lot of bills to pay. A lot of bills, and I've been selling cars like mad to try and keep on top of it. And well, this is the final reckoning, I feel like. I'm selling 6 cars. One already you saw, the Maserati Ghibli, but then also this, which I've left sitting in a lean-to for a couple of years, it seems like. My 2001 Porsche 911 Turbo that's been made into a Safari conversion, and other cars. But before I sell this one, I had to have a little bit of fun with it, so I'm going to take it off-road to Sandy Bottom, which is actually on the way to the buyer of this 911 Turbo. But the build, well, it's gone way over budget, and yeah, I'm losing a ton of money. Between the 6 cars, I think I'm losing about $50,000. Yeah, I'm a total idiot.
Now, I promise I don't set out to lose my ass on every single car that I buy. It just happens, and I sure didn't think it would happen on this Porsche 911 Turbo. I bought it after it was traded in at the local Porsche dealer in 2001 with 146,000 miles for only $24,000. Now, the but, other than the high mileage, was it spent a long time in Las Vegas as a rental and was faded in the sun at some point, and they repainted it terribly with glitter in the paint, like stripper glitter, like bass boat glitter, just terrible. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but otherwise it was in very nice shape, but it did have the hated Tiptronic automatic transmission.
Really good power. Sure wish this thing was a manual, but I don't have to worry about someone before me over revving it because the automatic stops you from doing that. God dang. Okay. Great power for sure. Shifting is a little weird, but that kind of goes with the territory with first generation Tiptronics. They weren't very good, but better than, well, a lot of automatic transmissions of the era, and at least it's not some horrible flappy paddle system that's unreliable. Very solid here.
So it got a big thumbs up from me, but also my mechanic at the Car Wizard gave it his seal of approval. He didn't find very much to fix. I really didn't have any money to spend if I wanted to keep it stock, so since I was an idiot, I decided to make it into my own version of a Hoopty 911 Dakar edition. Porsche had just unveiled their own 911 Safari for over $200,000. You could buy one, and I thought, well, I could build a much better one, much cheaper with this, and source the parts from Elephant Racing. The total cost about $17,000 for the long travel off-road suspension, which arrived at the Car Wizards, and we set out to build our own Safari 911.
Holy moly. Okay. Well, this is a little more organized than the chaotic unboxing video we did the other day. So is this all the new bits up here?
Yeah.
And
I took it all out, so to make sure that we have everything that we need. Also read the instructions. My goodness.
Is it a little involved?
It seems like it. It seems like maybe I have to drop the subframe down. I got some solid subframe bushings, I think.
They do. Spacers to make it a little bit taller. So
I see.
I know what Elephant Racing charges to do this, so we'll see what the Car Wizard charges to do this. I'm not going to tell because then...
No, that might spoil it.
Right, exactly. Well, then he might match it, which hopefully not.
But I didn't just need the suspension. Obviously, I needed off-road tires that would fit, and the obligatory crash bar, lights, and a roof basket. And then...
And as you can see, the result is just awesome. I agreed to a price to sell this thing before it was completely put together with the roof basket, the wheels, everything. And now I am really regretting it, thinking I way underpriced the thing. But it did start as a Las Vegas rental with the ruined paint. Interior, the seats aren't original. They're not even from a turbo car. And it is very rough. An automatic Tiptronic, which isn't that desirable, with 146,000 miles. But it is the perfect car for this, to do the Safari conversion. That lift with the tires and the suspension's about 4 or 5 inches. We have the rock sliders, and then the impact bar here in the front. Just looks so darn cool. But all in, I'm somewhere in the 40s in this car, and if I was buying a 911 Dakar, I'd be spending a lot more, $100,000+ more. So this makes more sense, having a beat up 911 that you do this to, and then you could actually have fun with it, which I'm going to do once on my way to deliver it to its new owner. It is going to an awesome home where there is one other Hoovies garage car, so let's quit wasting time and hit the road. I'd like to thank Sundays for Dogs for sponsoring today's video. These are my two baby brothers, Manny and Maverick, both young doodles my parents have, and they are goofy, amazing Clydesdales for dogs. One does have a sensitive stomach though, and the other does like to steal human food at every opportunity since his head is about as big as a table height. But recently we had them try out Sundays for Dogs, and as you can see, they absolutely love it. With great quality healthy dog food like Sundays for Dogs, which contains 90% meat, 10% veggies, and 0% synthetic nutrients, it's usually kind of a pain to store and serve, but not Sundays. It's air dried, so you just go straight from the bag into their bowl, and dog parents report noticeable health improvements in their pups, including softer fur, fresher breath, and better stuff that comes out of the other end, and more energy. It's great to see my brothers happy and getting the healthy food that they really enjoy and deserve, and your pups can too with Sundays for Dogs. Every order gets shipped right to your door, so you'll never have to worry about running out, and Hoovies Garage fans can get 50% off their first order of Sundays. Go to www.sundaysfordogs.com/Hoovies or use the code Hoovies at checkout to get that discount. Now, back to the Porsche. Despite her abused history and high mileage, she still has all the power. Oh my God, that is just so amazing. I had a manual 911 turbo before, but there's something to be said. I know nobody likes these Tiptronics, but just having that kick down and it pulling so hard, it's fun, and it makes for great off-roading too, having a torque converter that you can just sort of rock on and off as far as off-roading. But just on smooth pavement, this is a pretty cool experience because the 911 turbo, a little bit more of a harsher ride stock, but this one, with its longer travel suspension, the bigger tires, it has a very nice, smooth, comfy ride just going down the road. And when you do dive it into a turn, you know, there's a little bit of body roll with it now. Makes it feel sort of like a, I don't know, a Baja car or something. It's really fun. I am curious though, with that Amazon roof basket in the tire, how much more wind noise we're gonna have. Jeez, this thing is fast. Not too bad, actually. First stop here in Sandy Bottom here in Mulvane, Kansas is the obstacle course, which has been mowed, but I gotta get a brush guard to mow it all down for him. This is the course now. Yeah, we're definitely in it. Come on. And the suspension so smooth on the roads, and then we go off-road. Oh, a little mud here. Woo! And it's soaking it up as well. This is so smooth. So far, so good. Well, I can see why the suspension cost every bit of 20 grand or so. This is so impressive. It's built basically to do the rally stage. But here at Sandy Bottom, there is some more hairy, kind of low-speed off-road stuff. We'll see if this thing has the clearance. Whoa! Let's see what happens here. Unknown mud pit. Is it going to be solid? Oh no.
Well, all right. Guess I will go get the Raptor.
We stuck.
So I'll go get the Raptor then.
Yes, please. Sorry. Once again, I am so sorry. I guess we'll find out how well this is mounted. It's supposed to be right to the frame, I think. Oh yeah, no sweat. No sweat at all. Oh, don't go into the trees. Whoa, okay. It's out. If it wasn't super muddy there, it would have been no problem at all, but I did bottom out in the worst spot, so. All right, we'll try somewhere else. No sweat at all. Wet was this thing's nemesis, but let's see this time. Ah, no problem. Whoa, this is hairy. Oh, hit something. Ah, we bottomed out on something. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, I think I beached it on a rock, and we should probably quit while I'm ahead, while this car's still in one piece. Well, those lights weren't on before. ABS, traction control, and the check engine light. I had to hook it to the rear control arm to get it out on that last stick, and maybe I got the ignition coils wet. I don't know, because they're so low, but I floor it. Okay, it's running better now. So yeah, maybe that's drying out. Hopefully Brian Petty still wants it. All right, pulling in to the Epicenter garage. Hello.
Oh my god.
Are you?
Oh my god.
Are you mad or are you happy? I can't tell.
Open this thing now?
Well, I do have to do a bit more disclosure after what has happened, and we have to do a slight renegotiation here. But first, okay, the issues.
You're all dirty.
I'm all dirty. Yes. So I didn't tell you about this, but the rear spoiler, the common 996 turbo thing, it's dead. And then when you go over
So it doesn't
55,
go up.
it doesn't go up.
Okay.
So when you go over 55, it's supposed to deploy. It doesn't. It sends a error into the dashboard.
Okay.
That was the only error until about an hour ago. When I got stuck the second time, I had to pull it out from the rear control arm, and I may have gotten the ABS sensor, or it got wet, and then it may have also triggered a check engine light from maybe getting it wet, and it has sputtered a few times on me.
All right. Like in the last
Hour.
Oh, in the last
Otherwise,
okay.
it ran perfectly.
Okay.
And I did get it very, 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 very dirty.
It's a little dirty.
You do know that it's an ex-Las Vegas rental with 146,000 miles.
I do know that.
Okay, clean Carfax. 33,000. I am really, really rethinking that price, honestly. Yeah, water, it almost got inside, actually. There's the turbo badge right there.
Oh my gosh, that was close. That was close.
Yeah. I did the math.
That is fresh.
Yeah, I did the math, and I bought the car for 24, about 20 for the suspension installed, the wheels and tires. At that price, at 33 that we agreed to, I'm losing like $16,000, $18,000. So I'm hoping you could at least like throw in a change of clothes and maybe a little shower.
What shoe size do you wear?
Well, I don't need shoes or underwear.
you don't need
Underwear is fine. Just maybe a shirt and some shorts.
You're gonna go commando.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got that. Oh, I got a little mud.
Oh yes, you did. Well, there
Sorry.
you go. You're passing the buck right
All right.
there. It's like Blood Brothers.
Okay, we got a deal.
We got a deal.
Well, enjoy her, and I'll enjoy your clothes. And yeah, I have more cars to sell, unfortunately. This is sort of a sellathon, and this is just the start. There's some huge losses, not quite as big as this, but there's more coming. Well, this little girl's been collecting dust in the corner of the barn, and of course the battery has gone dead, but it's not from a lack of wanting to drive it. It's just using a quart every 200 miles, and it's been patiently waiting its turn for a used engine replacement. 2005 G55 AMG, and yeah, cylinder scoring, so a lot of oil getting past the rings into the combustion chamber, and it's just guzzling oil. The previous owner sold it probably knowing about this and didn't say a word, and noticed immediately that it was just guzzling oil as I drove it back from Chicago and then just driving around town. So with the new Cadillac Lyriq, April's driving that most of the time now. So it makes sense to sell it once this thing is fixed, because it is a pretty valuable vehicle. 80,000 miles on it, and these G-Wagons, they just hold their value so well that it's worth, you know, every bit of $40,000 or more running properly and cleaned up. And I paid more for it not cleaned up and not running properly, but I didn't know. Anyway, we're off to the car ninjas. Just discovered the air conditioning doesn't work. Just discovered the air conditioning doesn't work either, so we have natural ventilation. But one thing that Lyriq does not have is this wonderful V8 noise. That doesn't let you rev unless you're in drive, I suppose. But Ninja, you are hard at work. Whoa.
Yeah.
So that's my transmission, huh?
Yeah.
On the 7, ow. Yeah, okay. Got
Right.
me. I'm all right. Yeah. That was the surprise leak on the 98 740 IL. You said it's the torque converter seal?
Yeah.
This little bastard?
That is right there. And done.
My timing was impeccable. And we did not stage this at all. I just happened to show up right during the money shot there, huh?
Perfect timing.
So that seal goes bad. It leaks out of whatever that little hole there, yeah?
Yep.
And that's why the transmission has to come out.
This one's still.
Oh, soaked.
That's why you couldn't see it. Yeah.
How many of these have you done?
I lost count.
Hundreds? In addition to that leak, there was a very healthy radiator leak. Is that the new radiator?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But remember I said the check engine light might come on?
Yeah?
It did come on.
For what?
It's a thermostat code and oxygen sensor.
Ah, thermostat and oxygen sensor. Okay.
So I have not changed it yet, but
And-
that would be a good time to do it.
Nice fresh motor mounts
Yeah,
too, I
your
can
old
see.
ones are right here if you want to see them. To be honest, I never seen one like this.
Toast.
Toast.
And it was running so smooth.
I don't know
didn't-
how, but
It didn't seem bad, and I guess the radiator that didn't last very long was aftermarket. Okay, so OEM quality radiator and good parts.
Yeah.
And the G-Wagon here for its engine swaps has been waiting its turn patiently, collecting dust. AC's dead. Also, that long cranking thing with the ECU, remember that?
Yes.
So that's something that needs to be done.
I think I can clone the ECU.
Okay, cool. And then you've had the motor sitting over here for a minute, right?
Yeah, they came from Titanic.
Yeah, you think this one's good, huh?
It's really good. It's low mileage.
Okay, well the Car Wizard's had some bad luck lately.
Have faith.
It's been a journey.
I know. I'm sorry.
And now we're selling this one too. I mean, I bought it for 45. It'll be... Anyway, seems like... Yeah, I'm selling it. Seems like losing 10 grand a car is the theme of the day. So, yeah, wonderful. And there are more cars to lose money on, so I'll leave you to it and show you some more. Yep, the next one to go is the 2003 Buick Park Avenue Ultra. I just don't drive it at all, and since we got the 1992 Lincoln Town Car and the transmission exploded on that, it's not worth very much because it needs to be fixed. This one has been very sorted out, and it's very expensively been sorted out because I bought it. That was a great deal at $5,500. It has only 76,000 miles. Has the heads-up display, no sunroof, gray color, but not a single 3800 series engine issue had been taken care of. It had all the leaks, all the mount problems, everything that you would need to do, air suspension. That was $3,500. And then some more lights came on. I had to do catalytic converter, some other things, another $1,000. So that makes it, whatever it is, with shipping, over 10 grand into this car that's probably worth about $8,000, maybe a little bit more. I'm gonna detail it up and get as much money as I can and lose a couple $1,000, which in comparison to everything else isn't that bad. So we're gonna drop it off for the detail, and that's where one more vehicle is waiting that I'm going to sell, and it's another one that's gonna be a big loss. Well, Stuart, this grandma's Buick, I'm hoping you can make it be all that it can be, but just, you know, a quick detail. It's not worth a whole lot, but you did a lot more work on the Land Rover, right?
Yes.
Okay, well,
There. See that one?
is this the Wizards by chance?
No. So we took your Land Rover and turned it into a chaparral.
Well, I've given the Wizard enough money to get a much bigger boat than this recently, so I'm curious, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I need to call him and let him know.
Well, the Evoque convertible, everybody said I ruined it. I absolutely destroyed it. When I dropped it off with you, it was pretty messed up. Whoa. I did a walk around video as I dropped it off because you were on vacation. How could you go on vacation?
I know. Well, every now and then I sneak out the back door if nobody's looking.
But everybody was so mad that I destroyed this car. It already had some damage. There was a big old dent and scratch right here, and I made it worse by rubbing it against a tree.
Yeah.
And now,
there's a big crease right
oh yeah, now it's gone.
Yeah.
Completely gone. The bumper had taken some damage, was misaligned, and well, you got it.
Yeah. All these parts were able to. We got all those back on. This was all caved in.
Right.
So yeah, we just did a little touch up on it. We didn't have to paint it. So.
I didn't break anything. I just feel like I bent some brackets and stuff,
yeah,
right?
Some of the clips were just popped off, so everything went right back.
Yeah. And then the interior was full of pond muck. So this is where. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. It's back, and you can't smell on YouTube, but it doesn't smell bad anymore. It smells wonderful.
It actually smells pretty good, doesn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
So another amazing Van Gogh transformation on a car everybody was so angry that I destroyed. Oh yeah, the engine bay. I guess it did have a fresh engine in it. So
Yeah.
bought this for $22,000, I think. Head gasket in a can was in it, and me driving it off road really hard finally expedited the head gasket's death.
Wow.
Wizard said no head gasket on that one. We need to replace the motor. So that was $4,500 for the motor, about $5,000 for the labor. So that puts me 22 over 30. This is beautiful, but
Yeah.
I'm sure it costs me some money as well.
A little bit. Not bad. Not bad, though. I think for how good it looks now.
Right. Well, let's see.
All right, you ready?
Well, I just remembered you also took off that bikini advertisement in the back.
Oh,
from
that's
the previous
right.
owner from
Yeah.
Miami. So.
I didn't know if you wanted to leave that on. This is kind of fun.
Tempting. Grand total $1,850, which that's a lot of money, but that is a deal considering how much I like. Would you? Oh, you gave me a sweetheart deal on the detail because that pond scum and everything else.
Right.
Yeah, I really appreciate that.
Well, I used some of your frequent flyer miles.
Okay.
Applied it to this, so
Thank you very much.
after watching the Wiz video, I thought, oh, yeah, okay.
Somebody took pity on me for once, but it does mean I'm $35,000 into that thing. And $25,000 would probably be a miracle to get out of that. I mean, that's probably what it's worth. So I'm losing $10,000. And there's more. There's more. Well, this video was supposed to end with me telling you the last car I'm going to sell on this stupid sellathon. I finally decided between the Bentley Continental GT and the CL65. I'll do that in a minute, but I just got a phone call from Brian Petty, the guy who bought the 911 Turbo Safari, and I boogered it up way, way more than we thought. So yeah, the turbo inlet tube got crushed and bent and broken off to where the turbo was sucking in dirt and raw air and maybe a little muddy water on top of that into the engine. And well, I immediately said, I'll take it back, don't worry about it, and tore up his check. And he does not have to deal with that. So had a car ready to sell, somebody who was very excited to buy it. I didn't think I beat it up that bad, but yeah, that's just the way things are going with me right now. So refunded that. The 996 Turbo Safari is going to come back to the garage, and we're going to assess the damage. If I actually did hurt the motor or not, we'll find out on the future video. My sound recorder that I normally have in my pocket broke as well. So sorry about the audio. Everything's breaking. So yes, the final car in this sell or not sellathon is the CL65. That is the one that I have chosen to sell for two reasons. Number one, the Bentley feels more like a special occasion to drive. It's more exciting to me. Not because the CL65 isn't really cool and super rare. I think production-wise, way lower production numbers by like 10% of what the Bentley Continental GT is, because they made thousands of these. They only made hundreds of these per year, but I've had a CL65 before. I have the Maybach with the same non-AMG motor, the 62. So I've sort of been there, done that with a lot of twin turbo V12 Mercedes, to where the Bentley, well, I haven't been there and done that yet with one that is working. So I am enjoying the fact that I have a working Bentley Continental GT for a minute. And also I have a buyer for this one. He wants it, $27,300, which I'm only losing, I think, $2,000 or $3,000 on this one. So this might be the biggest win of the sellathon, only losing a couple of grand on it. But 90,000 mile car, The aftermarket wheels look great. A little dusty right now from being in the barn, but cleaned up so nice. And with a lot of work done to it recently, I know it'll be a good machine for the next owner. And I guess you'll be seeing more of that Safari Porsche 911 Turbo. Hopefully you're not mad at me like you were with the Land Rover when I off-roaded that one a little too hard. But really, I wasn't that rough with it. I promise. I promise I wasn't. Thank you so much for watching.